Hello! So, today we are starting on the mass market oracles. I'm so excited. We are just zooming, well, it probably doesn't seem it to you because this is the first time in my whole life that I have videos scheduled like more than 2 days in advance or something like that. So I am zooming through this quite quickly because, well, the biggest motivation is that these decks are in big piles on my floor, so trying to get that under control. But also I'm just having fun. These are my favorite. I love doing this. So let's just get right in. Mass Market Oracles, Part 1. We'll do it in 2. We'll do it in 2. This is the bigger category for sure of my oracles, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. For starters, the Fairies Oracle. I love this bag. I have it in. The bugs, how fun is that? This was one of those things where I saw this bag on Etsy and I just was like, I don't know what I'm gonna put in this. I just know I need it. Because I just love the bugs, but we all know this one. This one is just a forever favorite. I love this deck so much. It just really, it feels like it has a connection to fairies like nothing else I have. It feels just really, really magical. I love the artwork in it. This is one that, it's just an all year round deck for me. It never goes away. It's a favorite. I love it. The Fairies Oracle. And actually, let's switch one from the other pile over to this one. Because why not? I do also have the Heart of Fairy Oracle, which this one is out of print unfortunately, but anywho. I do really like this one as well. I like how, even though it's the same artist, Brian Froud, I do like that this one, we are sliding, I do like that this one feels a bit more colorful. This is one, I really like using this one in the spring and summer because I just love how the deep royal blue fits in that time of year. And it really is a gorgeous deck. And this is a good one if you kind of don't feel like sifting through the story like you do a bit with the other Oracle. This one, the guidebook is much, much more straightforward. It really just goes right into what I think of it as is the Fairies Oracle gives you a section, if you want, of just like, here's what it is in a reading. And this Oracle, it feels like that's kind of just what it offers you. Oh, how fun. So this one to me though, it feels a bit where the Fairies Oracle feels more so like directly talking to fairy. This one, for me, feels like the stories of fairies. Like fairy tale, folk tale fairies. So they have different energies to me. I really like both. So that is the Heart of Fairy Oracle. Ooh, okay, apparently this pile just, it's got a fairy theme going, so let's get into it. This is another one of my favorite category of decks, so I have many fairy oracles. But this is the Fairy Forest Oracle. Now this is a deck that I did trim, so it usually has another border around it. I can't think of what the color even was. But I really liked bringing it down to the colors. I think it makes it pop just a little bit more. And I like keeping this colorful border because I think it really highlights just the main color focus in the Oracle card. But this is such a favorite. I mean, the artwork is so gorgeous. It is a Lucy Cavendish Oracle. And I like the guidebook. Sometimes, it depends. Sometimes it's really spot on, sometimes it's not. A lot of the times I'll just use the 3 keywords you get at the bottom. This is a Blue Angel deck, and that is just such such a good feature of the Blue Angel decks is most of them have the 3 keywords. Oh, but this is such a favorite of mine. I love it so much. It just always, it's one of those where it always looks so beautiful on the table. And I love pairing this with all sorts of different things. So that is the Fairy Forest Oracle. Alright. Next we've got the Botanical Inspirations Oracle. And this was one I got this past summer with all of my gardening adventures. Excuse me. And I do really like it. I like all the different things going on here where you get the keywords and a quote. Sometimes I think a bit of my holdback is that I feel like I know I've got decks with the same images, like it just so, I didn't know, because these are all public domain flower images, but in my Cottage Witch Oracle, I have a good amount of the same images. So sometimes it's sort of like, well, I'll just use my own. But it does a completely different thing, so I don't know. I really like this one. It feels sort of like I really like using this in a supplementary deck type way where I'll pull another oracle and use this sort of as the extra message or sort of narrowing down what the first one's saying. But it's a good one. I like it. Botanical Inspirations. Oh, I won't even spend too long on this because we all know how I feel. Woodland Wardens. Love it. I've got 2 copies of this because I trimmed my first one. And as we talked about in my last video, now that I can riffle shuffle, I really want to riffle shuffle. So I got another copy, but it works out because the Animal Gnosis, which is Tegan at Cosmic Creepers, practice through her Patreon. I know she loves this deck and uses it a lot as her inspiration for picking the animals. So a lot of the times, not always, but a lot of the time, the animal we're focusing on can be found in this deck. So I really like using my trimmed copy as altar cards now. I still use it, not gonna lie, because I still visually like my trimmed one better. I really like how it looks. I took off all the white borders. A lot of the times I will shuffle and pull the card from this deck and then oh my gosh, this probably sounds so vain, but then for the picture, because I love taking pictures of my cards, a lot of times I'll swap them out. Is that ridiculous? No, I don't think it is. But it's so good. It's so good! Oh my gosh. I mean, if you haven't tried Woodland Wardens yet, it is a top favorite of all time for me. I love it. Next is the Everyday Witch Oracle. I have been so very much enjoying this one. I love the backs. I still need to repurchase the Everyday Witch Tarot. I had a mini at work, and with all the construction, it disappeared somewhere. I'm so sad about it, because I had it in the cutest little Peggy bag, too. So I'm still holding out hope it shows up, but it's been quite some time now. But I also really love this oracle. If not, honestly, I think I enjoy using the oracle more so than the tarot. And I'm so excited because there is an Everyday Witches Familiars Oracle coming out in 2024. I cannot wait. I'm so excited for it, especially after trying out this Oracle this year and just loving it so much. I just love how colorful it is. I think the keywords are great. The guidebook is great. I love the size of it. It feels kind of, I don't think it really necessarily is oversized, but it feels it. Oh, look how beautiful that is. I'm just a big fan. So that is the Everyday Witch Oracle. Okay. The Vintage Wisdom Oracle. This is a cool one. This is one that, I don't know. I think when I got it, I thought I would use it more than I do, honestly. But it's one of those where every time I do use it, I really enjoy it. I think it just has a particular feel to it, and I don't know how to explain it, where it's like not one I'm drawn to use all of the time. But I like it when I do. It really is a good one. I think the art is really beautiful. I think what I'm thinking though is that I really thought I was going to be in this kind of vintage feel for the past like 2 months, and so I had a bunch of decks taken out that have this feel like this, the carte postale and stuff, and it just didn't end up being the actual vibe. It more went towards medieval type things, and so I think I'm being judgmental because of that, because I do, look how pretty that is. I do really like this deck. Oh, that's so pretty too. I love the keywords. So that is the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Alright, the Mists of Avalon Oracle. I am so excited because this one is finally having its moment. I've had this one for so long. And it just, I don't know, it just never really clicked, but it was one of those ones where I'm like, I know I like it though, but it's just not happening. And all of a sudden, it's working. And I'm so excited about it. How pretty is that? Especially so because I really want to be spending some more time with the Legend of the Arthurian Tarot. And this is going to pair so beautifully. I think Candy pairs this with the Hollow Quest Journey, which she just put out a video about her like getting into the Hollow Quest, and I can't wait to watch it. I'm so excited. Cause I don't know if I'll really totally do the Hollow Quest this year, but who's to say? Who's to say? I was going to last year, and it actually seemed like a pretty fluid thing, which was cool. Like, I think I expected it to be sort of like the Year in the Wildwood, where there's dates to follow certain cards, and I don't think there really was in the Hollow Quest, so maybe it's something I can kind of casually do, but this Oracle's so gorgeous. I love it. I'm so glad it's getting its time. So, that is the Mists of Avalon Oracle. Okay. Moology. A classic. I really like this one. This one was definitely being convinced by my friend Rachel, who has loved the Moology Oracle for years and years and years. When did this even come out? Is that something I can know? Yeah, I'm not gonna look. It is a favorite for her, and when she, the last time she brought it into work and was telling me how she used it, I was so intrigued. And so I got a copy in one of the Hay House, like, crazy sales, and I'm so glad I did, because I use this one all the time, even if it's just taking out the corresponding new moon and full moon card on the day to just sort of see what it has to say for that. I love it. But I use it as an oracle too. I think it's, I don't know, I just think it's really, really awesome, and I think it's going to be so perfect as I'm attempting to learn more about astrology. This is another one I can take out and look at, and it's just so good. And the cardstock on it is great. It really feels like a high quality deck to me, and I just really like it. So, that's Moology. Okay, then we've got the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. And I really, really enjoy this one. I got this one, I want to say in like September, because I knew I was going to want to use it in October, and I used it a ton. It feels so magical. It just is one I get excited to use, and I already, it doesn't really fully fit the December feel to me, but I already know come January it's coming back out. And even so, intermittently when if I'm doing a moon reading, I also like using this for that too. I think it pairs so beautifully with the Moology Oracle. They just look really, really nice together. But I love the artwork, I love the size of the cards. I like that it's, you would just get like the full art. Something about that is just really pretty on this deck. And the keywords are great, they're just great. So, that is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. Alright, this next one is, it's an Oracle Tarot, one of those, which we had in the tarot section, but this one really, to me, falls more, or actually, I think it does call itself an Oracle, but it's in a tarot structure. Anyway, it's the Shakespeare Oracle, and this one is out of print, but not impossible to find. But oh my gosh, do I love this one. This one is so perfect with the Golden Tarot. I love doing readings with this, the Golden Tarot, and then a card from the Touchstone Tarot. It looks so beautiful. Oh, and the Serpent and Peacock. It's really good with that too. But all based around Shakespeare. In the minors, we get a quote, which is kind of where the oracle seems to come in. And usually when I'm pulling, I pull one card and I use it as an oracle, so I'm usually hoping to get a minor, but it's still fun to get the other cards too. Then it's just, if I get a minor, I don't usually take out the guidebook. I just use the quote as the message, which is just really, really fun. I love this one. The art, I just really love the art, and I love that it pairs so well with my medieval feeling decks. It's so good. It's so good. Again, it's out of print, but I did not pay anywhere near an arm and a leg for it, so save a search on eBay if you're interested, and just wait it out. That's what I did. So, Shakespeare Oracle. Okay. Ooh, this next one is a new one for me. It's the Winter Seer Animal Oracle that I desperately need to make a bag for, but I'm waiting, I'm still untangling. I dyed some yarn with, what was this? This was red cabbage, and it came out this gorgeous icy blue color, And so when I'm done untangling it, I'm gonna make a bag for this deck, because how perfect, right? Oh, it's so pretty. I love how that came out. Anyway, this is a C.L.O. Thompson deck, and it's one that I've looked at, oh my gosh, I feel like every year since I've started reading tarot, I've looked at this deck and been like, do I get it? But as I've said, I struggle with watercolor in general, and then adding on the very sparse background, that's also something, and the white. That's something that I tend to lean away from for some reason. But I tried out her other oracle, which will be in next time, next video, the Hedgewitch Botanical, this spring, summer, and loved it. So when Llewellyn was having their Samhain sale, I think it was something crazy like 50% off, I took the chance to get this one, because I'm always seeking out wintry feeling oracles where they're specifically themed around it. I love it. And it is not disappointed. Her decks are so good. They're so good. And if I'm gonna have this sort of white blank space, I can do it more so with an oracle. A tarot, it's not gonna happen for me, but the oracle, because I will usually pair this with another oracle that maybe is just a little bit more busy, and it works perfectly in that way, and I find it's something I gravitate towards a lot because it does balance out those just busier decks. But I really love this one. I think it's great. Love a good animal deck. And I'm also, you know, I was really interested in having an animal oracle that felt wintry, because that was not really something I felt I had before. So excited about that one, the Winter Seer Animal Oracle. Okay, I'm gonna take a pause because the laundry's done, and then I've got a stack here. I think it's all of my Blue Angel oracles, so that's gonna be fun. So we're gonna get into that stack next. Okay, let's get into the Blue Angels. I'm so excited. So these are all, I had the Fairy Forest, that was a Blue Angel, but these are the ones that are all in their boxes still, which pretty much all the other ones I have just kind of stay in their boxes because I like them. Myths and Mermaids, Oracle of the Water. I really, really like this one. I love Jasmine Becca Griffith's art, and this was one that was so much fun. It has some that go sideways, which, I don't know, I'm kind of indifferent to. Anyway, this was really, really fun to use in the summer, because this is another watery deck that, to me, fits in the category of watery, not beachy, which is usually what I look for if I'm going to have watery decks, which is not really many. But I really like this one. It definitely feels shadowy. I had so much fun this summer kind of getting into, to me this is really like siren type energy, which is really cool to explore. I just had a lot of fun with this deck. I really, really love the Jasmine Becca Griffith, Lucy Cavendish oracles that I've tried, which I think are just 2. No, that's a lie. I did try the fairy tale one that someone gifted to me, but it just didn't end up, that one didn't end up totally working for me. But I'd love to know, if you like these decks, what's your favorite? I think the other one, look how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh, the other one I want to try, ooh, there was 2 I wanted to try. Something about like the Shadow and Light one maybe? But the Alice one, I'd love to give a go, but these are so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I really enjoyed this one this summer. So that is the Myths and Mermaids Oracle. Next we've got the Halloween Oracle. Such a good one. This is my favorite Oracle to bring out during the month of October. And I think it can definitely span the whole dark half of the year with a lot of these cards. But, oh, this Oracle is so good. It's such a favorite. And actually, I do kind of think looking even just at these first few cards, already I'm like, this doesn't even feel like it needs to just be a Halloween season Oracle. I think it would be kind of fun to challenge myself a bit, to surpass the title, because that's something, I know that that's just an aspect of the black and white thinking I tend to have, is since it's called the Halloween Oracle, no matter how many times I say, like, I can use this outside of Halloween, I won't, because in my brain I'm like, but it's Halloween. It feels like there's a rule, you know? But then look at this, there's a winter card. And I feel like we haven't landed on a card yet that feels like it needs to be that Samhain season. I think the only one in here is there's that jack-o'-lantern card that to me is very much Halloween. But I think, right, I mean, yeah, right? But, okay, then we've got Trick or Treat. That's very Halloween. But I almost feel like I could take those two out. It's just two. And then, that's another one that feels kind of Halloween. But again, that's not many. I could just take them out and still use this deck. I think that would be a good, just personal challenge. Not that it's a big deal that I only use this during Halloween, but it's just an Oracle I really, really like. I don't know. I think we're gonna leave it out and give it a go. So that's the Halloween Oracle. And next is the full-sized of the Kali Oracle. I do have the pocket as well, but that is in one of my special collections, so we'll get into that in the last video. But this is one that I do have the full size of as well. And I don't know that I really need both. I really enjoyed working with this full size. But then I got the pocket because it just sort of was like a bit of a completionist thing in my brain. But the pocket Blue Angel Goddess Oracles are so good, and I kind of feel like if I was going to use the Kali Oracle, I'm probably going to pick the pocket. Especially because Kali is not really, I mean, she is not a goddess that I work with per se. I really like this Oracle, but I don't necessarily directly work with her. So I'm kind of like, is there a reason for me to have 2 copies of this? I don't think so. I think this one's going to hang out in the think about it pile. But I kind of want to see if the guidebook... Oh, look at that card. This is the one I pull all the time. I do love that one. I'll look at the guidebook and see if there's anything that feels of value to me personally in there to, like, keep both. I don't know. But I don't really feel like I need both. But the Kali Oracle. Alright, next we've got the Les Vampires. Love this one. This is the other Lucy Cavendish, Jasmine Beckett Griffith deck I have. I am obsessed with the backs of this deck. I love it so much, and I edged it in this navy blue, which I also, I don't know, just enjoy. But this one's so good. It's so good. This one's really fun too with the Tarot Vampires. This was new this year in October, or maybe before October, but I got it for October, and so much fun to use in October. I really, really loved it. This is one that's definitely going to stay out, because I definitely see myself using this outside of Halloween. Because it's not a Halloween deck, but you know, vampires, right? I tend to probably use it more so. But it's so beautiful. I love it so much. So, that's the Les Vampires Oracle. Okay, next is my newest one. The Norse Goddess Rune Oracle. Oh my gosh. Do I love this one. First of all, this one came pre-edged. How good is that? It's such a beautiful red. And I've been using this one tons. It is a rune deck, but it relates a Norse goddess, to each of the runes. So you get this like double layered message that is so awesome. And we get the 3 keywords at the bottom. This one is a bit smaller too than the usual cards. I think it's, let's compare actually. That seems worthwhile to me because, while I do like the usual large size of the Blue Angel decks, I remember just being so pleasantly surprised by this one. So let's compare it to this. So it's the same, yeah, okay, I thought so. Same height, just a bit thinner, as you can see. And I don't know, there's something about that I really love. I just like the whole layout of this deck, and I'm really excited to continue using it because it really is helping me with learning runes, because I love having something else I can associate as well. Having that double layer is just helpful for me. And I love this deck. It's so good. So, Norse Goddess Rune Oracle. Okay, this one is the, ooh, that's dirty, first of all. Love Your Inner Goddess. This is an Alana Fairchild. This was a gift from a friend for my birthday. I want to say like 2 years ago now, 3 years ago? I don't know, maybe 3. Maybe 3, I don't know. Anyway, this is a good one, and I don't think this is something I would have really chosen for myself, but it's definitely just it's a sentimental one for me, since it was a gift from a friend and they saw it and were like, I just don't think you have this one, so. And I have to say, it really does have a time and place for me. It really is a nice, uplifting deck. It definitely, it feels very much like it's a feminine, empowering type deck, and there really is times where that's the energy I need. And actually, looking at this now, I think it would be really interesting. I mean, that's not, I don't know, that feels a bit appropriative. So, you know, anyway, I think this would be interesting with the Tarot Avatara. I think I should try that out. I think that'd be a cool pairing, actually. Especially since this one feels a bit light to me, but since the Tarot Avatara reads so shadowy for me, I think that could really balance each other well. And plus, I mean, there she is. So, yeah, it's a good one. Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle. Okay. This is the Universal Dragon Oracle. This is actually, this one is another one that's, I didn't even think about it. It's the same size as the Norse Goddess rune, so it's the usual height, but a bit thinner. I kind of forgot. This one's great. I really, really love this deck. I love the colors. I love the way the dragons are illustrated. The keywords are so fantastic. This is just a really usable deck to me. I will always get into guidebooks. I love guidebooks, but this really feels like one that if I didn't want to, I don't have to. And I just think the art is so, so gorgeous. I love how elemental these dragons feel. It's such a favorite when it comes to dragon decks. This one is really fun to use, especially in the summertime. I really like pairing this as well with the, oh my gosh, the Fon Oracles. I can't think of, they'll be in the next video, but this goes really well with that. So that is the Universal Dragon Oracle. It's so good. Next is the Prophet Oracle. This one's really neat because it's based on the story, The Prophet, which I haven't gone through and read, but the whole story is in the guidebook, which is really, really neat. But beyond that, I still, even though I don't know the story per se, it's such a good deck to work with. Each of the main messages are a quote from the story, and then you still get the little keywords at the bottom, and there's something so, I don't know, it just feels like a real profound message every time I pull from it. It's like, it's profound, but not tricky. You know what I mean? Where it doesn't feel like it's trying to sound super smart. Sometimes I feel, is that mean of me? I don't know. I'm not saying anything in particular, and I'm not even thinking of any deck in particular when I say this, but I feel like I've experienced sometimes where sometimes profound and deeper messages gets confused with just using bigger words, you know what I mean? So I don't really feel that this one does that. I pretty much always know what it's saying, which is very nice. But it still uses just like this beautiful language, and I really just get a lot out of this one whenever I do use it. And the art is so pretty. So that is the Prophet Oracle. Okay. Next we've got the Queen Mab Oracle. Divine feminine wisdom from the Queen of the Fae. Ooh. So right up my alley. When this one came up, I pretty much got it, or came out, I mean. I was pretty quick to get this one because I love fairy decks, and just seeing some flip-throughs of it, it just seems so different than anything else I have. It's very dark, and the imagery is very dark. Which a lot of times I have to be just in the right mood for. I love that card. How pretty is that? But I have really enjoyed this one when I've used it. I think it's one that I almost feel like, this is an interesting new thought I'm having. I almost feel like I should keep a mini collection somewhere of decks to use specifically at nighttime, because I feel like this to me is a nighttime reading deck, because every time I go to pull it out during the day, it's like, it's not right, it's almost just, it's too dark, and I think it would really, really find its place for me for any kind of nighttime readings I do. which is cool because to me fairies are mostly out during the day, and my other fairy oracles feel slotted for like morning, daytime. So it would also give this a bit of a unique spot with that as well. Ooh, cool. It feels very fantasy though, and I love that as well. So that is the Queen Mab Oracle. I think that could be interesting because I do think I have quite a few decks where I'm like, ooh, that feels like a nighttime deck for me. And if I had a collection just in my face, I might utilize that more often. That's something to think about. Alright, last Blue Angel Oracle, the Lantern Oracle. This is a really good one. This is a very shadowy deck. But it feels shadowy in an uplifting kind of way, where it definitely it delivers the tough message, but I feel like this is one where it doesn't leave me feeling like I need to pull a message from another deck in terms of like, okay, what do I do with this? You know what I mean? And it is such a beautiful oracle. But this is another one where it's like, ooh, nighttime deck. I think I'm gonna make a little mini nighttime basket. I need more baskets. That's what this comes down to. Needing more baskets. Although I already see a spot. Something to think about. I think that'd be really cool. Because this is one I don't use too often because, I don't know, at night, because I've already been through a day and I'm tired, I almost need things just like in my face for me to really think to even do it. So I think that could be cool. But that's the Lantern Oracle. I do really like it. And I think I'm gonna make like a nighttime deck basket. That could be super fun. Alright, now we've got another little pile here of some other oracles to go through. And then we will do the rest. Oh my gosh, no, I have another Blue Angel deck that is in a bag. Hold the phone. Okay, wait, hold on. We've got... I've got two more here that are in bags, so I didn't really clock them as Blue Angel, but since we claimed to be doing all the Blue Angel decks, let's keep going. This is the Fon Oracle I've referenced before, so let's find out the names, why don't we? It's the combined Seeker and Messenger Oracles. These are ones that Andy gifted to me, and I can't tell. I think she may have trimmed this. It seems like that's the case based on the edges, which is totally fine. I don't know why that's like a thing my brain needs to figure out. I could just ask. Anyway, I love this oracle. To me, it's one, and I tend to just call it the Messenger Oracle. But it's so good. It's so good. I love the colors that Ravenflawn uses. I love her artwork. I always get fabulous messages from this. Really such a joy to use, and I love this bag. I found, this is from the shop I talked about last time too. It's just so perfect. So yeah, this is a big favorite for sure, especially come summertime when I'm really leaning into these bright colors, but I think this could be cool to pair with some of my astrology decks too, now that I'm looking at it, right? It has a bit of an astrological feel to it, so that might be something I do. But yeah, that's the combined Seeker and Messenger Oracles. Alright, last but not least, for the Blue Angels, this is the Into the Lonely Woods, and I have it in this Peggy bag because this is a deck I really use a lot and also just like to carry with me from room to room in my house. And so with decks that I like to do that with, I don't know, I just like having them in a bag because it feels easier to carry. But this is, ooh, is this a special one to me? This one's really been helpful with just sort of all the feelings that come up around, or at least have been coming up for me around late neurodivergent diagnosis. Because there's just a lot of feelings of loneliness and isolation that can kind of happen with that, but also just this really huge grieving of who you kind of thought you were and reasons for being a certain way that you now know are explained by something else. There's just a lot of things to work through with that, and this has been the deck to do it for me, and I love it so much for that. It's so good. So, Into the Lonely Woods, a fabulous one. I can't tell. We had workers at our house. I think they just left, but I can't tell if they're gonna like ring the doorbell. I think they left now. That's interesting. Didn't even say goodbye. Anyway, now we are on to the next pile. The Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle. I really like this one. This is one that also feels like it can be really any season, but because of this sort of cream and black color palette, this is one, before having the Winter Seers, to me this was the darker half of the year animal deck, and I will continue to use it that way, because now it's sort of nice because, like I was saying before, white, pure white like that is a bit hard for me to pair sometimes because I really just enjoy warm tones. So this is one that I can use with the warmer tone decks I have, or the ones that already have beige or off-white. And then I've got the pure white that I can use as well. So I really like this one. I like the keywords we get. I love the array of animals. I like the art. It's really good. So that is the Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle. Okay, this next one is not, my version is not technically mass market, however, it is now out from US Games, and from seeing flip-throughs, other than, I think, this was a Kickstarter, and I think we got 2 extra cards or something. Other than that, I think it's literally the same. So I'm including it in mass market. I don't know if that's a bit of pettiness of me, but it is the Witch Oracle, so woman in total control of herself. And I really, really like this one. Not to like completely throw shade. I did think it just was odd that it came out at first as this indie deck, and I mean, we paid a good amount for it, and then it came out from US Games like half the price, and I don't think there is a difference. Because to me, it's good quality, but like, it is, to me, it slots into that mass market kind of good quality, you know what I mean? And again, I think really the difference is just that we have a few extra cards from the Kickstarter, and I don't know, I think I do not mind that, like, it's not keeping me from using the deck. I really like it. I do wish, though, if that was in the works, which I just feel like it was, But you know, I don't know. Again, I could be totally wrong because this Kickstarter was one that took a bit, so maybe it got picked up later on. I don't think so though, because where it got printed from, I think is kind of very similar. So if I am right in thinking that it was in the works of being picked up by US Games already, I wish that would have been kind of included in the information, because I think there was a lot of people who probably would have maybe waited. I don't know. I'm not here to say what's right and wrong in that situation. I don't know. I think that just was like an odd thing to me. But regardless, okay, let's get off the negative Nance train. Alright, we're off. Anyway, I love this deck. I think it's fantastic. I've gotten so much out of it. I think it's gorgeous. So again, it's not to say that I'm like harboring all this bitterness. Just my thoughts on that, but I love it. I think it's great. And now look at that. Like you can get it from US Games for a really good price now. So yeah, I'm a fan of it. I think I probably, like, personally I would have waited for it to come out, but I'm not mad I supported because it's a beautiful deck and I love using it. So anyway, that is the Witch Oracle, but like the hyphenated, no, not hyphenated, acronym? Yeah, I don't know, US Games. You know what I mean. The Citadel Oracle. I have been loving this one. This one is such a fun archetype deck. I love the shape and size of it. I think it makes just using it so much fun. And it makes it feel special and different, and it really just puts me into this fantasy world. Like, it really feels like this high fantasy, or even like I kind of get like middle grade fantasy vibes from this, but that could just be that that's what I read. But it really is so much fun. I love all the archetypes in this. I've loved the readings I've gotten out of it. I think it's a really just well done oracle. Cannot say enough good things, especially as I'm getting into the season where I'm reading more. It's really fun taking this one out to kind of match the vibe of the books I read, because it's almost always fantasy. Fantasy or magic in some way is always what I'm reading. So that's the Citadel Oracle. Oops. Alright, 3 more. Okay, we all know, well, I guess we shouldn't say we all know. If you've been here for a bit, you know my feelings on this one. Oh my gosh, Oracle of the Roses. Eek, ouch, I just hit into my cut. Sherilyn Darcy. I was not sure about this deck before I got it, because I was like, well, it's all roses, like, I don't know. But this deck entirely launched me into just wanting to be a rose gardener. In the span of 1 year, no, one gardening season, I should say, I have six roses now. 6 different rose bushes. And I love them so much. I love them so much. A lot of them were rescues. I call them rescues. From our grocery store will sell plants. It's a little odd. To me anyway, but once they look like, because they don't go through and deadhead the roses, so they'll reach a point, obviously, like mid-season, where they look like they are dead. They look like dead plants. So then they like half the price, and that's when I swoop in. And so I think 2 or 3 of them came to me that way, and all you have to do is deadhead the flowers, stick them in the ground, and I got like whole other flushes of roses that were beautiful. So anyway, this was, oh my gosh, I couldn't put this one down all summer. And even now, it still comes out every once in a while, because I have such a connection to roses in general now. It's just, oh, it's so, look at that. My, I did get one vining rose that gives off flowers, this coloring. That's the only one though that is a bit finicky, where it's not really like a hardy rose, and I have Japanese jumping worms that deplete the soil, and I think they kind of got to this plant. So I think it'll bounce back, but its season didn't last very long because I think it just didn't have the nutrients it needed. Anyway, Oracle of the Roses. A favorite. And speaking of favorites, I've got another one right here. Celtic Spirit Oracle. Oh my gosh. And we're now getting into the season for this one, at least my personal season with it. I think it's like spring, summer too, but to me, I don't know. This whole intensely Celtic feel for me is a big wintertime thing as well, but I love this oracle so much. The guidebook is fantastic. I mean, enough said. Hello. I love the Celtic theme of it. I love the keywords. It feels really special. And every time I use it, it just feels like I really get something big out of it, and I love it so much. It's so good. The way Nicola McIntosh writes the guidebook is just something else. It really is. So that is the Celtic Spirit Oracle. And we've got one more to look at for today, and we will save the rest for next time. But that is the Magical Botanical Oracle. Oh my goodness, did this one just completely take me by surprise. Darn, I didn't have my camera plugged in because it was full battery, but I don't realize, these videos fly by for me to do, so I'm always shocked when I'm like, oh, I made an hour-long video? What? Anyway, Magical Botanical Oracle. This one really took me by surprise. I did not think this was one I was gonna get. It's a low Scarabeo, and they're a bit, unfortunately, notorious for not having many cards. So this one's 33. But then I was seeing quite a few people get this one this summer and just sing its praises. And I was like, all right, I do kind of want to try it. I want to try it because the artwork is so pretty. Although I have to say that was another thing. I wasn't sure how it was going to work for me because it is a bit busy. But I have to say, even though it's 33 cards, it's not a noticeable lack of card kind of thing. Like, it doesn't feel like a lack of cards. I don't even think I'd want more cards, you know what I mean? Because I just think there is so much given with the guidebook for each of these that it feels like exactly enough. This has been such a favorite, and with this coloring, it worked beautifully in the summertime, and this has been carrying through because it feels really universal, and I really love that because it feels like a way for me to continue working with plants and herbs even when they're not directly growing outside my door anymore, unfortunately. So that is the Magical Botanical Oracle, and that is the last deck I have to show you for today. So next time we will be finishing up the mass market oracles and then moving on to the indie. So I will see you again very soon.